Alright, welcome back everyone. We're in game 2 of the CEVO-Open playoffs loser's bracket round 5. Once again, I'm Niz.
Remaining.
You're watching NizCast, but you're also watching some
5
terrific
seconds
play
remaining.
coming out from, well, both these teams, but
Radiant
Orenda
team
definitely
pick.
dominant in game 1 as they took that and moved ahead 1-0 in this best of 3. Squid Jigglers, they got off to a little bit of a shaky start. They kind of got bullied as the game went on, and they're going to look to find a way to rebound
Dire team
and get
pick.
themselves back into this. The stakes right now are, well, if Squid Jigglers loses this, they're out of the CEVO playoffs and they'll finish 4th overall. They will get
Dire team
the invite
back.
into CEVO main for next season. Orenda, if they win this, they move on to the next round where they'll play, well, that'll be the loser's bracket finals, and they'll play Void Boys, and they'll then get guaranteed a top 3 finish, and they'll
10
be in the money.
seconds remaining.
Winner of that, of course, moves on to the grand finals where Istari is
5
waiting
seconds remaining.
for a challenger. But
Reserve time.
that's not going to be determined until we're at least done this series, and Squid Jigglers definitely have an opportunity to hop back up and even this series at 1 apiece. We see the bans have already gone through as we got Shadow Fiend and Lion getting banned out by Squid Jigglers, and Orenda electing to ban out the Troll and the Axe this time. We're once again going to see a Sniper, but this time it's going to be in the hands of Orenda, as they're going to pair that up with an Earthshaker. Squid Jigglers electing to go with the Vengeful Spirit and a Slark. So Batrider still in the pool. Phoenix getting banned out by Squid
Radiant
Jigglers. I
team
imagine
ban.
Orenda will look to remove the Batrider in this time. This set of bans. And there it goes. It gets banned out. As there's not...
Dire team
I mean, there
back.
are other counters to the Batrider in the pool, but Vengeful Spirit is by far the strongest, and that makes it a pretty strong pickup for Squid Jigglers, with them already having the Vengeful Spirit on their side.
10 seconds remaining.
So Orenda will remove that, and now we've
5
got
seconds
Squid
remaining.
Jigglers looking to ban out their second hero. And I imagine...
Reserve time.
Well, I can't really guess what they're going to ban here, as it's... I mean, it could be a hero that's going to limit the Slark. I don't see them banning Jug, as Slark is typically pretty strong against Jug. But maybe they just feel like they don't want to deal with the Jug, and maybe they will remove it. They have other options, too. They could remove... maybe just a strong support, something that's going to pair well with the Earthshaker, maybe a Skywrath Mage. Well, they're going to ban out the Bristleback. We saw how dominant Hook was
Radiant
last
team
game with that in the off lane, so they're going to remove that, so Orenda doesn't at least have that at their disposal. Now moving on to Orenda's 4th ban, and I imagine they're going to remove another hero that's going to be strong at jumping on and picking off Sniper, whether that be the Storm
10
Spirit or maybe the
seconds remaining.
Clockwork. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think they're
5
going to be that
seconds
worried
remaining.
about the Clockwork, because Proco wasn't really able to get going last game on the Clockwork.
Reserve time.
So they may choose not to respect the fact that Squid Jigglers has, or feel confident at least in their Clockwork pick, and they may choose to just ban out the Storm Spirit instead and put the onus on Proco to redeem himself after game 1. Not that he played terribly, but he just didn't really get the ball rolling, and no one really did on Squid Jigglers, as they were all kind of struggling, as Orenda was really big man on campus and really bullying them all over the place. But Orenda definitely taking their time here with this 4th ban, as they're dipping into their reserve time, and they will choose to ban out the Clockwork, so Storm
Radiant
Spirit's
team
still
pick.
in the pool. Now, will Orenda look to actually pick it up here and potentially block the pickup from Squid Jigglers? Storm, not typically strong against Slark, but not that weak either. There is, of course, a lot of potential Storm counters that could be picked up
10 seconds remaining.
as well in response. So, Orenda,
5 seconds
I think they're
remaining.
finding themselves in a little bit of an awkward spot here in the draft. Yeah, they're not just using that little extra bit of pick time to make up their mind with further picks, as they dip a little bit into the reserve time. But they're going to elect to go with the
Dire
Omni
team
Knight.
pick.
So that's going to be their most likely their second support, but that'll give them a double melee support duo. So they're going to look, if that is a safe, or if that is a support Omni Knight, they're going to have to look to pair that up with a strong laning carry that's going to be ranged. So maybe that's a giveaway that they're going to park their sniper in the safe lane, and that's not a mid sniper. Or maybe that's just not a support Omni Knight, and they're going to offlane the Omni Knight, have the sniper in either mid or safe lane, and the Earthshaker is going to be a support looking to get paired up with, well, a future hero pick. Rubik will get picked up by Squid Jigglers, and that's going to be pretty strong against the Omni Knight, as you can pretty much reliably steal Guardian Angel as soon as that comes out, so they can have an Omni Knight ultimate of their own. Rubik will also give them a strong disable with the lift, which will pair well with the magic missile coming out from the Vengeful Spirit, and that gives them a pretty deadly tri-lane, if that's indeed the tri-lane that they're going to go with the Venge, the Slark, and the Rubik. There could be a possibility of them putting the Slark in the off lane, but I imagine that is going to be a safe lane Slark with those two supports. And if they're going up against an Omni Knight, that Omni Knight is going to be he's going to be in trouble, but
Dire team pick.
Well, we've got a Huskar picked up. Huh. Interesting. You typically don't see Huskar picked up all too often. But one of the things that's great about Huskar is, well, if you've got a large HP pool, he can jump on you and chunk that HP pool immediately with his Life Break ultimate, as it is percentage based. However, there's no one really with large HP pools on the Dire side thus far. The other great thing about Huskar is as his HP gets lower and lower and lower, he starts taking less and less damage from magical sources, as his magic resist keeps increasing. And although there isn't really that much burst magical damage coming out from Squid Jigglers yet, it really limits their potential picks going forward, because they have to keep in mind that Huskar is there. One hero that is incredibly strong against Huskar is Necro. Not sure if they're going to choose to go with it, as I don't think, especially after they picked up the Invoker, that Necro will really fit into their draft. But the Huskar also pairs incredibly well with the Omni Knight, because if you're really low HP on Huskar, and you're tossing your spears and doing a ton of damage, well, if you can be backed up by a Guardian's Angel, or even just a Purification healing you up when you get maybe a little too low, or even a Repel when you first jump in, so you can't get disabled, so you jump in and you're throwing those spears out real quickly, and they don't have a way of stopping you from throwing the spears, you're going to deal a lot of damage on that Huskar. Final two bans went through, as it's going to be a Centaur banned out by Orenda, and a Witch Doctor banned out by the Squid Jigglers. Now Orenda will look to finish off their roster here, as we will get to find out what that role of, well, what role the Omni Knight will play. And it looks like it is going to be a support Omni Knight, so they're going to go Earthshaker Omni Knight as a support duo. The Storm Spirit with the final pick puts them in an interesting position. Who's in the off lane? Who's in the mid lane? Is it Storm mid going up against Invoker? Is it Sniper mid going up against Invoker? Is it Huskar mid going up against? We don't know. We don't know.
10 seconds remaining.
They could pretty much put any one of those three cores in the mid lane or the safe lane comfortably. The question is who goes in the off lane? Maybe it's not just an off lane and they're going aggro with the Earthshaker and the Omni Knight.
10 seconds
and then they're going to be giving their effective off laner the safe lane.
5 seconds remaining.
Viper's going to be the final pick for Squid Jigglers.
Radiant team pick.
And that will give them strength in their other lanes that they don't park the Invoker in. And they don't park the tri-lane in. So they're going to be feeling relatively comfortable with the 1v1 matchup. And, well, we can already see which heroes are playing, or who's playing who. But let's introduce the teams and the players before we jump too much into that. As on the Radiant side, we're going to have Orenda, which have found themselves ahead in this best-of-3 series, 1-0. Playing their Omni Knight is going to be Linga. Playing the Earthshaker is going to be Baidu. Playing the Huskar is going to be Hook. Playing the Storm Spirit is going to be Kong. And playing the Sniper is going to be CY. Kale coming out. If you watched any of DAC, you'd know that that basically means lag. On the Dire side, we have the Squid Jigglers playing their Slark, who's where is he? Oh, there he is going to be Sasquatch. I'm apparently blind. I couldn't see the little fishy. Playing their Rubik is going to be Craft. Playing the Invoker is going to be Proco. Playing the Viper is going to be Swift Tips. And playing the Vengeful Spirit as she wanders away off camera is going to be Small. Well, it looks like we're not going to have either team basically grouping up as 5 and rushing out to a spot on the map, as both teams seem to have been spread out a little bit here. No boots first for anyone on the Radiant side, but we do have an Orb of Venom getting picked up by Linga on this Omni Knight, so looking to bully a little bit. The Dire side, we do have boots first, and it's going to be Rubik picking up a set as well as the Viper. Beyond that, we do have a set of sentries on the Vengeful Spirit, but no smokes or anything else too surprising or too unusual. We will have both Observer Wards for the Dire side get placed in this bottom lane to help them out here. And it looks like they've gone aggro with the Rubik, the Slark, and the Vengeful Spirit. But little do they know that Orenda has
the battle begins.
Dodged that, or maybe gone aggro of their own. And their tri-lane is going to be up in the top lane with the Huskar, the Omni Knight, and, well, maybe it's not. Well, actually, it probably is, as I imagine Baidu's going to make a rotation up there in just a second, as he was just blocking for CY in the mid lane. But he's actually rotating down to the bottom. I think he's going to place an Observer Ward up, because they anticipated that the tri-lane would be in the bottom lane, and the rotation, as I draw on the minimap, would be coming from the bottom up towards the mid lane. So they want vision of that kind of area as those heroes come through. But Baidu will actually continue rotating to the bottom lane, where Kong is in a little bit of a pickle here, as he's getting CC'd and right-click down, and that will be first blood for the Squid Jigglers, as Craft is going to get that. They were hiding off into the trees off to the side. Well, Kong will just respawn and TP down here, and it is going to be 2-1-2 lanes coming out from Orenda, so trying to get a little bit more out of their lanes. But Kong, I imagine, is going to struggle a little bit here going up against this tri-lane, as I don't see Storm Spirit managing to get much in this lane. Despite the fact that they will have Baidu on Earthshaker, which is one of the strongest anti-tri-lane heroes in the game. So now that it looks like the lanes have stabilized, let's take a look at what we've got in the other lanes. As we've got Storm, Earthshaker going up against the Venge, Rubik, and Slark in this lane. In the mid lane, that leaves the Sniper going up against the Invoker. Courier just delivering a few items to CY there. And in the top lane, we've got Huskar and Omni Knight going up against the Viper. So like I said, there's a little bit of a benefit here for Orenda laning 2-1-2. They're going to get a little bit more XP in their lanes. And how the heck does this keep happening as CY gets a solo kill on Proco in the mid lane? I do also want to point out that Proco is in the mid lane. He was the offlaner last game. And we see more action in the bottom lane as Kong's going to get a kill. Not one, he's actually going to get a double as he gets Sasquatch and Craft. But right before he's able to get that kill on Craft, Craft manages to get an auto attack off and claim the kill on him. So it's a double kill, but he loses his life for it. So it's a 2-for-1. But still, Orenda definitely favored there. Yeah, it's like I said, Proco was their offlaner last game. He's in the mid lane this time, playing that Invoker, so maybe he's their go-to Invoker player. And Swift Tips, who was in the mid lane last game playing the Queen of Pain, has found himself in the top lane playing the Viper. Well, he is going up against the top farmer once again as Hook. farming away on this Huskar. As he was off to a dominant start last game on the Bristleback and just kept snowballing out of control. And he's going to look to do the same thing on this Huskar. Linga just hanging around off to the side, putting pressure on Swift Tips, allowing Hook to get as much farm as possible.
Shrapnel!
CY and Proko exchanging a few blows there. But both, well, mainly CY has been playing so aggressive. And rightfully so. He's got the chance to get a few right clicks off here on Proko, and he's going to take that opportunity. But he needs to be careful because Kraft and Small have smoked up. They are making the rotation down there. Ping comes out from Baidu, sorry, in the bottom lane, pinging out the fact that the support. Oh, Kong's actually pinging off to the fact that the supports could be off to the side. But no, they're not. They're wrapping around onto CY, who is in trouble. There's no escape for you, little dwarf sniper, as he's going to get lifted, tossed back, and he's going to go down. Proko will lose a decent amount of HP, but he will get the kill, and that will allow him to finish his phase boots and have another 400 gold in his pocket. And oh wow, the 4-minute rune will spawn, and that's going to allow Kraft to, well, will it be Kraft that picks it up, or will it be Small? It will be Kraft who will pick up the haste rune, and now they're going to try to make their way down to the bottom lane, where they're going to try to pick off Kong or Baidu, whichever one steps out of position. Linga making rotation down as well. He may get spotted out by these observer wards in just a second. In fact, Small will spot him out. Now they're going to go on to Linga as he will get lifted, but Fissure comes in, helps him out. But ooh, he gets the purification off, gets the repel off, but he's going to go down. Small now is going to be the focus target for Orenda. As they get a return kill there, they're going to look to try to get a second as they chase down Kraft, whose haste rune has expired in the meantime. CY getting another solo kill in the mid lane, killing Proko once again, and Kong then able to secure this kill onto Kraft. So Orenda will get 2
structures are fortified.
For just 1 in this bottom lane, and like I said, while that was going on, CY managing to get another kill in that mid lane, pulling it to a 2-1 lead. Proko respawns and will TP back in here. As well, this is very similar to how last game started, as we saw Orenda start off well, start off strong, and find themselves in a good spot. Kraft making his way up into the top, lifts Hook towards them, but now he's just standing there right clicking as Linga's arrived on the scene to support him. Hook is so close to going down. Linga actually couldn't use the purification on him because he was repelled, but Hook managing to get out of the attack range from Viper, didn't tick out from any of the corrosive skin, but instead it is the Viper that ticks out as he had the burning spears dot from the Huskar on him, and ooh, Proko almost surviving there as he got the tornado off onto CY to interrupt that assassinate, but there was a shrapnel to give him vision as Proko had just made his way to the trees, and with that shrapnel vision he was able to queue up another assassinate, and with no way to cancel that, Proko goes down for a 3rd time this game. So like I said, this is pretty much exactly how last game started, as Orenda pulls out to an early lead, and Hook is looking to further that lead as he's going to use that life break to jump onto the Viper. As he's getting hit by the tower, and Linga not able to switch the tower aggro onto him as he goes down. Meanwhile in the mid lane, Kraft rotating over, getting another kill onto CY. So that's 2 rotations and 2 kills for Kraft, as that's definitely going to help Proko get back into this lane, as he's fallen quite a bit behind in terms of CS. He's just at 19-8 right now, or 19-9, and the snipers pulled out way ahead at 30-10. Both effective safe laners, or heroes that have found themselves with the most support in the Slark and the Huskar, are pretty much dead even in terms of CS. Slark with a 2 CS advantage, but Huskar has a boatload of denies as he's sitting at 28 denies. The hero that's definitely struggling the most is going to be Kong on the Storm Spirit, as he doesn't have too much CS at all, as he's got 12. He's going to move up to 15 here as he cleans up this easy camp. But he's had so much pressure put on him, and well, they haven't had too much to kind of support him as he got pressured by this tri-lane. Swift Tips just doing what he can to to hang around in this top lane and get as much XP as possible. He wants to get that level 6 and get that Viper Strike available to him. He needs 1 XP there. He'll get it with this creep as it's going to go down. Meanwhile, the supports have found Kong, but they're not able to secure that kill. In turn, it's going to be a kill going the other way. Oh, I thought there was an assassinate going out. It must have been cancelled. As Kraft just barely surviving. As he'll back away with on the Rubik. Well, Swift Tips and Proco will look to go on to Hook, who will, oh my goodness, he will jump in with the life break. It looked like he was going to die, but he toggles that armlet, and that gives him a burst of HP. And they will claim that kill onto the Viper. So good rotation from Proco, timing that with the level 6 coming out from the Viper, but unfortunately not able to secure a kill. And in the end, they actually lose one as they fall 11-6 right now. As Orenda once again pulls out to an early lead. We'll actually switch on over to the net worth and we'll see who's got most of that gold. As we see Huskar and Sniper both leading the way. Sniper pretty much even with the Slark. But out of the 4 main farmers, we see Kong falling behind, but he's going to get a little bit of gold there as he gets the kill onto Sasquatch, but he'll go down as a result of Swift Tips and Small coming down to help out their Slark. And now Kraft making his way to the mid lane, trying to get another kill onto CY. Proco missed the tornado, and I think they'll be able to get enough damage here onto CY as, oh no, he'll throw down the shrapnel, and that'll help him distance himself as they're going to get slowed up. He's going to lay down a second. He'll get right-clicked again by Proco, but he'll go down as Kraft gets in range to get that Fade Bolt off. And we're going to have a buyback from CY, and he's going to immediately TP to the bottom lane as they're going to try to get a return kill here onto Swift Tips. As he's going to juke in through the trees. Will they check down there? That's kind of an unusual spot for him to go through. He does have a Quelling Blade allowing him to do so. And yeah, I don't think they're going to check through there. But now, he's going to come out of the trees as he's got support from his team. As they're going to look to try and get a kill on to see why they do lose Small in the process. Proco going down in another lane, in the mid lane, as Omni Knight is going to get the kill on him. Baidu, desperately running for his life, does pick up a bounty rune as he's trying to make his way to the mid lane to his teammates. As Linga's going to be there. Doesn't actually have Purification off cooldown. Kraft stealing Enchant Totem there. So he has that available to himself. And Swift Tips, unfortunately, not able to get the deny on that mid-tier 1 tower as the Catapult's going to claim that. Kong jumping on in, and they're going to choose to go on Kraft. As Linga lays down the Purification onto Kong, healing him up, but also doing a bunch of pure damage to the Rubik. And that's another kill for Orenda as they pull out 15-9. Hook just sitting up here in the top lane, beating away on this tier 2 tower, but he needs to be careful as 3 heroes from this dire side have made their way up here. He tries to TP away, but they will be able to cancel that. They've used Swap to do so, but they do get the kill onto Huskar. And that should be a decent amount of gold for them, as yeah, that's almost 1100 gold going their way. CY now potentially getting caught out as he's going to get pounced by Sasquatch, but there comes out the repel from Linga, who will now actually use the Guardian Angel to make sure that CY gets out of there safely.
For justice.
We've got the 2, well, actually not the 2 supports, it's the Rubik and the Slark wrapping around, trying to go on CY as they're going to ping him out. But Swift Tips and Proco on the other side, they've gone on to Baidu, leading with the Viper Strike there, and he's going to go down. They're also going to get the kill onto CY. So good little pincer maneuver there coming out from Squid Jigglers as they're going to claim 2 kills there for nothing. So great rotations from them. And with that, let's actually bring up the gold graph and see what kind of a lead Orenda has. Well, they're not quite at 5k gold lead as a result of them losing those 2 heroes. So this game's a little bit closer than it was last game, but you have to say that Orenda is definitely pulled out to a lead like they did last game. It's just not as large. We did have an item pickup on the Invoker, and that's going to be a Hand of Midas. So electing to go with a Hand of Midas on their mid laner once again. They need to be careful they don't fall too far behind and that Hand of Midas takes too long to get going. As they don't really have too much gold or in terms of items on any of their heroes here. The Rubik's actually probably doing the best in terms of how much gold you'd expect him to have out of anyone. But he needs to be careful here, as there's a ton of pings coming out and he recognizes it. He's going to try to TP away. He will be able to do so before that fissure lands. Now Orenda pinging out the fact that they're going to be going for a tier 2 in the mid lane. Their Storm Spirit is low HP and low mana, so he's going to have to go back to base. So he's not going to be able to join them. So it's just going to be a 4-man push. Hook getting kind of low. Assassinate coming out onto small. Now Hook needs to make sure he doesn't get too low here, as he's dangerously playing around with that armlet. But now Lingo will actually secure a kill onto Slark. But he will get tornadoed, and well, his corpse will land into an EMP. CY was getting focused down there, but he just barely gets a TP off in time. As it is a 1-for-1 trade, but it's an Omni Knight for a Slark, so you still have to consider that a little bit Orenda favored. But given that they are ahead, the gold change is pretty much going to be even. In fact, it's slightly favoring Squid Jigglers.
Invisibility.
So let's quickly bring up the item tab here and take a quick look at what everyone's got thus far. We've got Mana Boots and a Soul Ring on Linga on that Omni Knight, so he's off to a terrific start. Hook went with an armlet as well as a Morbid Mask, and now an Ogre Axe, Ogre Club, whatever the thing's called. Kong with a Point Booster and a Soul Ring. And CY actually going with double Wraith Band. In terms of the dire side, we've got Sasquatch getting his Shadow Amulet and building towards the Shadow Blade. Kraft doing alright as well, as he's got the Mana Boots, and even picking up Bracer to give himself a little bit more HP. Proco still with that Hand of Midas, and he's since picked up a Point Booster and a Sage's Mask. So I'm not sure if maybe that's just a casual Point Booster for now. He'll build into an Egg Scepter later, and maybe he's working towards a Yule's or something with that Sage's Mask. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. But we've got CY getting picked off in the mid lane, as he's going to get swapped back, and there's pretty much no way he's getting out of there. Good game, well played will come out from him one more time. They've unfortunately done that a few times, as that typically signifies the fact that they've given up. But a lot of these players, I'm sure, play a ton of pubs or NEL, and that's just something that is used quite often. But let's finish going through all the heroes, as we got 2 heroes left to go. Swift Hips, he's finished the Blade Mail on this Viper, and he's got Blades of Attack, so maybe working towards phase. As we see Linga going down, Proco, Small, and Crafty combining for the kill there. And Small, well, he's typically got just your base support items. He doesn't really have too much besides an unupgraded magic stick going into that magic wand. Well, we've seen with those last couple exchanges, we've seen the gap in terms of hero kills close, as Orenda is only finding themselves ahead by 1 kill here, and that may actually be evened up, as it looks like CY is going to get picked off here, as he's going to go down. Hook will jump in with the life break, so he will get a return kill here onto Small. So they do even it up, but just for a few seconds, as Hook manages to claim that kill on the Vengeful Spirit. Sasquatch just farming up in the mid lane, or in the top lane while that was going on, and Hook TP's up to stop that, as he'll look to keep adding to his items, as he's picked up a Sange and a Helm of the Dominator. So once again, he's off to a terrific start and starting to snowball out of control on this Huskar, as he's still our top net worth at 8,000. Nowhere near as far ahead as he was last game, but definitely still ahead. As the next 2 are actually the Invoker and the Storm. The Storm's come right back, so Kong doing a terrific job of crawling out of the gutter that he was kind of placed in off to the start. He was in a difficult lane. You can't really expect him to get too much more as a Storm Spirit paired with an Earthshaker going up against a tri-lane. We will have a smoke from 2 heroes on Orenda, and they're going to use that to actually go into the Roche Pit. where Hook and Baidu will try and focus down Roshan here. Sasquatch will be rotating by. He will pick up a bounty rune. He will not check into Roach Pit. And he'll just keep moving by. CY will come down and right-click him a few times. Some pings coming out onto CY as they were potentially thinking of going on him or something like that. Ooh, ping coming out from Slark, saying that they had vision of me here. And it's not an observer ward here, or even in the mid lane. In fact, it's an observer ward across the river. And there we go. Roche goes down. A Sasquatch was just making a rotation down there. The Aegis will go on to Kong, who immediately jumps on into the dire team and tries to go for a kill. Looks like they've got a few heroes low, as both of them are going to go down. It's going to be Small and Proco, and Kraft is also quite low as he's going to go down to the fissure. Meanwhile, Sasquatch being a little fish, a little snake off in the back, as he's going to get a kill onto CY, and now he's going to run away before any of them are going to be able to catch him. Kong will say, you know what, you can run away. Well, there's a DD here. I'm going to bottle that up, and that'll at least give me a little bit more mana as well. And if one of you clowns come to defend your tier 2 here, maybe I'll jump on one of you and claim another kill.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We've
Dire's
got
structures
Courier
are fortified.
flying in, a bracer to this Viper, who, well, what is he looking? I don't even know what he just sold. I was just looking at all his items. That must have been the quelling. No, still has the quelling. I don't know. But we also had Courier flying an item to the mid lane, and that's going to be a Heaven's Halberd completed for Hook. How's Baidu looking for his... oh, he's not going for a blink. He's going for a 4 staff.
Top tower is
He's
under
almost
attack.
there. Just 90 gold away from completing that. So they're going to have a 4 staff Earthshaker soon.
Radiant's
It
top
is
tower
a
under
Yule
attack.
Scepter completed by Proco. So that's what he built the Sage's Mask into. And we see a Sage's Mask on Small, who also has a medallion recipe. So he's going to have that finished relatively soon. Hook getting his ultimate stolen one more time by Rubik. Not much he can do about that in terms of covering. He can cover with his heal, but oh my, he's in the middle of 4 heroes. He does have some backup coming, but will he be able to survive long enough? He won't. Kong will jump in. They've already lost a few heroes, as they lost their Omni Knight as well. And now Kong will get tossed up in the air from that Yule Scepter, but he will ball lightning way away, and they won't be able to get another kill. So it is a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Squid Jigglers. But Orenda's still ahead, 21-19. They're going to look to make it 21-20 as they wrap around onto CY, and I don't see any way that CY is going to get out of this. As he's going to go down to the tornado coming out from Proco. Like I said, 21-20 now. And let's bring up the gold graph and see where we stand. Well, we're still around 5k. It actually came down quite significantly as Squid Jigglers narrowed that gap, but Orenda managing to pull it back out to 5k, and we're going to have our kill total even here as Baidu is going to go down. He will lay down the Echo Slam. There we go, 21-21. But now Hook once again says, no, stop evening this kill total. Actually, Kong is going to change it as he's going to jump in with that ball lightning, getting a kill. They've got 2 already. They're going to get a 3rd as Small is going to go down as they're going to try to chase down Kraft, who has stolen Repel, and use that on himself, so they don't really have a way of actually slowing him. And that's going to get him up onto his high ground as he's got 4 staff waiting in the stash. Speaking of repels, we have Hook with a repel and beating away on this creep wave, and now on this tier 3 tower. And the 2 heroes left alive for Squid Jigglers, playing a little bit cautiously here as they don't want to go on that Huskar. Kong jumping on in, gonna pick off Kraft as he's gonna go down, and now they're gonna continue to beat on that tier 3 tower as Hook getting quite low from those tower attacks. As he'll just heal himself up. And now they're going to look to go on to Swift Tips as Kong's going to jump forward. We do have a TP coming in from Proco, and I think Orenda may have gone too far here. They do have the Guardian's Angel to back them up as they've got that kill onto the Viper, and now they're going to look for more as they're going to continue to go after Sasquatch, and they do get that kill. Now they're going after Small as he's going to go down. My goodness, Proco The only one left alive now for Squid Jigglers is going to look to try and help his team defend, but they're going to lose their tier 3 tower in the mid lane, and soon the Rax is going to fall, and I imagine they're going to go to the bottom lane to help out CY as he's been taking out that creep wave and that tier 3 tower. As actually, he's going to come to the mid lane to help them out first. Kraft stepping in, stealing Static Remnant, but it may cost him his life as he's getting quite low. Linga has to use Purification on himself. Kong still diving after Kraft, getting the kill there, but now he's going to get right-clicked down by Proko. Lingo coming over, trying to help him out. Doesn't really have much mana to help, as he's going to have to repel himself as he got Viper Strike. Nice target switch coming out from Swift Tips. Can we GG, Baidu says? Huh? I'm confused. I think he's asking for them to GG out. But they are going to lose Hook as he's going to dive in there on the Husker, and they're going to lose CY as well. And it's falling apart here as Baidu's going to get tossed up in the air, and we're going to have 4 dead for Orenda here, as the only one left alive is Kong. But we're going to see a whole bunch of items come out as we see Storm picking up a gem, the Egg Scepter getting picked up by the Invoker, and also a set of drums getting picked up by Viper. Well, we had a ton of kills and we had a set of racks going down. Let's take a look at what that did to our gold graph. As Orenda pulling out ahead, over 10k now. Almost 11k in their favor, and Kong diving after Proko. He's going to look to try and get another, as he's already used the Yules. He does get a Ghost Scepter off, or Ghost Walk off, but Kong has that gem, so he's going to be able to secure that kill.
Radiant's top tower is under
Squid
attack.
Jigglers trying to get a tower. I haven't even noticed, but they haven't claimed a single tier 1 tower again. They are really struggling to get some towers in this matchup against Orenda. As match 1, I think they only got 1 tower down. And well, match 2, they still haven't gotten one, so.
My eternal gratitude.
Hook and Linga pushing up in this mid lane, looking to finish this one off. CY is all the way up in the top lane. He's a long way from them. So they're looking to, well, they're actually 2v3 right now, but it's soon going to be 4v3. As Kong and Baidu are going to arrive on the scene. As we see Kong just off into the mid lane, and now Baidu's coming in the mid lane as well. Now here we go. They're beating away on this tier 3 tower. CY, in the meantime, is up in the top lane, attacking the tier 2 tower. The Squid Jigglers are going to have to respond in some way, as they're going to lose their second set of racks here. They have to wait for Sasquatch to respawn, I think. She's going to be up in 7 seconds. They do have a glyph. They do use it to delay them a little bit. But here we go. I think this is the moment where they're going to try to engage. Kong will jump onto Kraft, who will force staff himself back, pulling Hook way out of position, who will then get swapped to almost into the fountain. But we've already lost the Rubik. We're now going to lose the Vengeful Spirit. And Sasquatch getting quite low, and we're actually going to see the GG get called. So Orenda rather dominant in this best of 3 as they swiftly take care of Squid Jigglers, who will finish 4th. And if you saw in chat there, they said Grats on 3rd, as they're predicting that Orenda is going to lose to Void Boys. Such a BM though. Yeah, there was a little bit of BM coming out there from Orenda, but maybe they thought it was a little bit of BM that that's actually displaying that both teams were Orenda, but maybe they felt it was a little bit of BM coming out from Squid Jigglers having not GG'd out when that one was looking pretty much like it was over. But you know what? This is not only a tournament, but it's the playoffs, and this is the losers bracket. And Squid Jigglers lost this game. They were going to be out of it, so you know they definitely have the right to stick around and ride the game out until they feel like it's completely gone, and or they lose their throne. And well, they chose not to GG, so I can't really fault them for not GGing there, and can't really call them out for being BM, because I don't think it was really that bad. And it just took Orenda a little bit longer to actually finish that game off. We have seen some pretty drastic throws in the past, so it can happen. Didn't happen this game, but Orenda will advance to the losers bracket finals, where they will go up against Void Boys, and I'm I'm pretty sure Orenda and Void Boys, they know each other quite well. I think they're a bunch of friends, the two teams. So that should be a good one. I'm hopefully going to be able to cast that one, as Orenda was nice enough to let me cast this game and give me the password for the lobby and all that. That next match, where we will see Orenda up against Void Boys, will be on the 18th, and it's scheduled for 9 p.m. CDT, so 10 p.m. Eastern. That may be rescheduled. They may choose to line that up with a different time. We'll have to wait and see with that. But the default time is 10 Eastern on the 18th, so that will be Wednesday. And like I said, I'm going to look to cast that one, as that will determine who finishes third and who gets to advance to the grand finals to play Astari, which managed to 2-0 Void Boys in the winner bracket finals to get there. But that's going to be it for this cast. I'm going to wrap this one up. As I'm Niz, and well, this was CEVO-Open playoffs, losers bracket round 5, and Orenda took that one pretty convincingly. And if you enjoyed watching the cast and you'd like to see more, you can definitely hit that follow button on twitch.tv/NizCast. I cast every Thursday and Sunday nights. I cast SCS, and I've also been casting the CEVO playoffs. So I've casted CEVO playoffs tonight, and I'm going to be casting, hopefully on Wednesday, that Orenda versus Void Boys match. So definitely follow and tune in for that. I also have a Twitter, which I tweet about everything going on with the tournaments I'm casting and everything that's going on with my casting. So that's at NizCast, and you can also follow or subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/NizCast, where I upload all the VODs. So if you want to link them to a friend, or maybe you're one of the players and you're just tuning in now, you'll be able to access those VODs. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the cast. I see it took a little while for some people to come into the chat there, but we did have a few at the end. So thanks for you guys joining me. I'm going to say hi in chat as I close the stream out, but I'm going to throw it to some music on the way out, and hopefully we'll see you guys again on Wednesday. Thanks for watching.